Hello YouTubers and fellow Star Citizens. Today I'm testing the Logitech F310. It's a game controller. I just picked one up at Best Buy and I'm actually using it to maneuver around in the hangar right now. I didn't get a feel for it. It recognizes it as a, oh, that was jump. Nope, that was crouch. There we go. I've got to figure out what button does what around here. But, any rate, it recognizes it as a Xbox style controller. So we're going to see how well this works. Mind you, I have basically barely looked at the controller. You know, in fact, I should do that first real quick. Gamepad, throttle down, throttle up, double tap to match target velocity, decouple mode. So eject, menu, left plus right, space brake. Roll posture, cycle targets back, nearest hostile. Right cycle target, okay. Left trigger navigates left HUD. So, lock missiles fire, afterburner, fire group 2, left trigger, fire group 3. Okay, that's that button there. Interact with PUD. Okay. So, I'm not going to say that I'm going to... let's see here. Drone sim. Still don't have multiplayer. They rolled out more multiplayer users today. So we're going to go to Dying Star. Alright, this is my first attempt flying with a control pad, or a controller, or a gamepad. The F310, it's recognized as an Xbox-style controller, but it's in the form factor of a PS3 or a PlayStation-style DualShock controller. So let's see how well this works. Usually I talk more during the game loading processes, but not much to chat about tonight. Although my wife did come down as I was flying another round and ask why Jarvis was on my computer game. So I don't know if they've got Paul Bettany as a voice actor or not. Alright, so... Okay, so that's forward. That's lower. That's space brake. Okay.
Scan initiated.
Wow, this is going to take a little bit of getting you. Oh. So I'm going to have to reverse axes for gamepad. So this operates very similar to how it works for wow, that's gonna take some getting used to. So this operates very similar to how it does for keyboard and mouse. Wow, I'm not going to be any good with a game controller, I can already tell you that. I need to invert my controller to begin with. So I'm not even bothering to look around the cockpit right now. I'm keeping the aiming heretical as close as I can to the center of the thing like I would with a mouse, or with a joystick rather. Ouch. Well, one ship down, and I think I've only gotten one kill so far. So this is not starting out too well.
Origin Jumpworks at your service. Core system operational. Contact.
By for reintegration.
Scan initiated. Proximity alert.
Okay. Once I'm starting to use it more like I would a joystick controller. And it's certainly not as precise as my T16000M, for instance, but it's certainly playable. That's better than I thought it would be. Alright. Got a kill here. Alright, and... I mean, to me, the since they have these different in so many different fire groups, it's very strange to me to be firing one group of the weapons.
Initiated. Proximity alert.
Love it. They're still committing suicide. So of course I'm flying the 300i here. That's my default fighter for everything, for all my testing purposes. So I'm comparing equals against equals. Alright. I think I've got a hang of this enough thus far. About to go to an elite wave here, so we'll see how well that works out.
Scan initiated.
Ooh.
Scan initiated.
There's the little king fella. Okay, I have no idea what my countermeasures are mapped to.
Proximity alert.
It doesn't feel that bad. I think it's perfectly playable right now. With a game controller. You know, you still have basically a short throw with a controller stick, so it makes lining up very precise shots relatively difficult compared to, say, the T16000M. But all your major controls you have basically right there. You do have control of throttle and everything else. You know, I can slow down, I can speed up, I can hit space brake. In fact, all of that might be slow. Nah, it's not really that much easier than using a standard, just single joystick. I think I would like the form factor of the Xbox controller for Windows, or an Xbox One controller, simply because I'm used to Xbox more than PlayStation, but that's just a form factor. I don't think it would have much bearing in terms of functionality-wise. I also have... Okay, so let's zoom out. I also have no idea what roll is. This is pitch and yaw only. Okay, so that turns on and off couple mode. Seems to be harder to control yaw. Again, I because of the way the dead zones and throw work on such a small stick, I find making finite maneuvers relatively difficult. But I'm not doing horribly.
Contact.
So let's zoom in, zoom out again.
Scan initiated. Proximity eliminated. Hostile eliminated.
Okay, that
Scan
got one of them.
initiated.
So I guess if I was probably younger and had better, finer muscle movement. I mean, I'm used to playing games like Battlefield on the Xbox, so yeah, I know I'm a console heathen.
Hostile eliminated. Scan initiated. Proximity alert. Achieved.
I will say this much: it seems to be easier to fly to get a missile lock with the controller than a joystick or mouse and keyboard.
Scan initiated.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Proximity
Boom.
eliminated.
0 hostile contacts remaining.
It's much easier to switch.
Warning. There are multiple hostiles inbound.
That's interesting. Decoupled there doesn't quite work the same way. That still controls that.
Scan initiated.
I guess I should have done free flight first, instead of trying to figure out what all these buttons do on the fly. But I find it very difficult to aim and look around and aim and fly at the same time using both sticks. So I'm just basically treating it like I would a joystick, as opposed to more like keyboard and mouse. But that's kind of interesting, because that brings us back to the balance between input methods. And, you know, mouse is basically point and click. Gamepad, you kind of have a hybrid between the two, and then joysticks operate as this does. And I think they're going to have to end up making the decision to support either everything the same way, or else there's going to be some definite competitive problems between people's preferred input method controller.
Proximity alert.
But I'm not having a horrible time, and I bought this controller. It was on sale for 20 bucks. I mean, for the money, I'd much rather have the T16000M or the Extreme 3D Pro. But it's not horrible.
For reintegration.
Origin JumpWorks at your service. Core system operational. Contact. Scan initiated. Scan initiated.
Yeah, this is going to get interesting.
Depleted.
Oh, where did we go?
Proximity alert. Hostile eliminated.
Fly from one asteroid cluster to the next.
Hostile eliminated.
Oh, got him. That was easy enough.
0 hostile contacts remaining. Contact. Elite units en route.
Contact. Scan initiated. Achieved missile lock.
I think the general consensus is I can't wait until we get player bindable controls in this game. I think that's going to help myself and a lot of people immensely. Ouch.
Eliminated. Scan initiated.
But got him.
Hostile eliminated. Scan initiated. Proximity alert. Proximity alert. Hostile eliminated. Scan initiated.
I've noticed I'm getting a lot more frame rate kind of crashes and slowdowns here
Hostile
when I'm using this than I notice with joystick or a HOTAS system. I don't know if controller has anything to do with that. Now, the 8.5, the Logitech game controller software 8.5, I think it's 8.53 or something, still doesn't see the F310 gamepad as far as if you wanted to remap buttons and things like that, and what they did. So I kind of wish Logitech would actually make software that would recognize all of their devices. That's certainly a Logitech problem. That's not a Star Citizen problem.
Hostiles inbound.
But I thought I'd look around my cockpit a little bit here. Yeah, it looks kind of nice. Alrighty.
Scan initiated.
Ooh. Oh, that's easy to do. Evasives. Jinking. But that really wasn't on purpose. That's actually trying to fly and maneuver.
Hostile eliminated. Scan
Okay.
initiated.
Let me fly away from some of this stuff here.
Scan initiated. Scan initiated.
Why do I have a feeling I'm getting very dangerous to a, ouch. Oh, I still got weapons. But very close to a collision there with, actually I think I was getting close to a collision with one of my wingmen. I'm having a lot more difficulty at the higher difficulty levels here than I think I do with a Logitech Extreme 3D Pro or T16000M or equivalent joystick in the same price range.
Hostile eliminated.
I'm not doing horribly though. This kind of has the Master of None quite feel to it. That what I mean by that is if you decided you wanted to use a gamepad, I could see you using it in both first person as well as ship-to-ship combat and being okay in both arenas, but you know, mouse and keyboard is going to be superior in first person view to a controller, and a joystick and HOTAS is going to be superior in basically this space-based combat. But if you wanted one that would do both, you know, decently well, I could see the point. Now, like I said, I would like to see maybe try an Xbox One controller or an official Xbox for Windows controller versus this Logitech to see if it's just the control pad itself or, you know, maybe something different. If it's the control input or it's this particular brand of controller. Much easier to maintain missile lock, though. I will fully admit that.
Hostile eliminated.
0 hostile contacts remaining. Warning.
So at any rate, that's flying with a F310 control pad in Star Citizen. I don't think there's really much else to show, so I'll go ahead and end this video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe as I continue to do more reviews of various controllers and control schemes, and let you know what I think works and what doesn't. I'll let it go here for a couple more minutes. See if I can make it through this wave. I've only got 1 life left. You know, again, I'm not doing horribly here. I mean, maybe it's beginner's luck and I don't know fully everything I'm doing. But these harder waves